You're listening to the Pace Radio Network, here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good day and welcome to the Mushie Moment with myself and my awesome co-host, Reverend Cindy. We're live today on Tuesday, February 27th, 2024 on paceradio.net, CBG TV, and we stream everywhere. How you doing, Cindy?
Everywhere. I'm doing good. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing awesome.
Excellent. Excellent. What are you up to later on today?
Apparently, I'm going to be going out and salting some sidewalks and possibly plowing a little bit of snow. It's
in Vancouver.
Supposed to get cold here on the West Coast, so we'll see if the weather guessers are correct this time. But I'm hoping for salting for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's a job that you do, but it's still strange to have that much weather out there this time of year like that.
Yeah, how much you got over where you are?
Oh, we've had beautiful, beautiful, beautiful warmer weather with a lot of rain, so it's half gone now.
Oh, half gone. So how many feet is that?
Well, we have about 1.5 feet left.
Yeah, town's going to shut down tonight. I think it's going to hit like 5 centimeters.
Yeah, well, out there, that will shut Vancouver down.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of funny.
No.
Oh.
So how is your cacao course going?
I completed level 1. Hit me right out of the gate. I completed the level 1 and I've started on to my level 2. And it's going really well, actually. I'm there practicing every day. No, it's going really well. I'm really happy with it. I'm learning a lot. And it's because I find myself in the different realms of, I didn't discover cacao as that type of the end of things. It's more the, oh, look, it's a superfood that can be used for generating stem cell growth and all these minerals and to be able to dance into a ceremony aspect and have that ability to give thanks, not just for the plant and the medicine, but give thanks for the lineage that has carried the aspect of giving thanks and supplying it, because it is an incredibly healthy plant that helps people.
It is, but I mean, with your the research that you did before you started learning the ceremony, you can use that in the ceremony when you share your story of cacao.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, for sure. For sure.
Hey, what are you doing? You're bouncing around over there.
I'm moving my
Don't
desk.
make me dizzy. Don't do that.
We're good now.
All right. And
we go quiet.
How's your course going?
Oh God, we don't have to go there. Busy. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of information. I am still floored with the amount of information that I am getting, but I am also learning through the exams that I am taking that I'm actually soaking this stuff in and I'm actually retaining it. And I'm walking away with getting hundreds on exams, which is just awesome. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It lets me know that I am retaining some information. And I was talking with our guest earlier. I said I was surprising myself because having the trauma brain, which does give us a bad memory, I'm really been quite shocked with myself to how well I am retaining this. It's pretty amazing.
And you've been doing some cacao stuff. What you've been doing
Oh
there?
yeah, it's a ton of fun. I've been enjoying it. The last ceremony I had was on the full moon. I had a beautiful lady come in. We had a bit of a storm that day, and only one person decided that they were going to face the storm and come out. But we had a beautiful full moon ceremony, and I'm working on the next full moon ceremony. It should be a lot of fun. Not to mention, next week I have something pretty fun to announce when it comes to cacao.
What?
Next week. This week, we are bringing back an old guest, somebody that we've had on before, somebody that is from the Maritime series, actually a Newfoundlander, which I think is pretty amazing. It's one of my favorite things about him. And there are many things that are on that list. But he is a fellow Newfoundlander, a very nice man. He works here in the Maritimes with sacred medicine. And he has some pretty amazing stuff coming up, through his practice. And we invited him back on to chat about upcoming retreats, about work that he's been doing, and about a giveaway that he is running. I want to help promote that. And maybe we can get somebody that has been interested but nervous to, maybe they'll win that and they'll go learn a whole bunch.
So who is it? Who's our surprise guest?
Well, it's not a surprise. I announced him yesterday. Justin McCarthy, Newfound Awakening, is our guest for today. Welcome, Justin.
Good
Thank
day.
you. Thank you.
Yes. So, I've had you on before and I've asked you the question, what brought you here? But if you wouldn't mind giving everybody just a little brief history for those people that weren't here the first time you were on.
Yeah, for sure. It was actually, I just looked at the calendar earlier. It was April 4th last year. So not even 12 months, which is kind of cool.
Wow. Yeah.
So I wanted to know, because I just started doing things like this. And since then, everything kind of blows up. And I don't take a lot of time to reflect back and look like how far I've come. It's just full steam ahead. It's like I'm the head caboose on this train, and I just go with my light shining. So when I get a moment like this to reflect and see, like, what have I done in the past year, I'm kind of brought to tears a little bit, looking back over my life and realizing that the things I've been manifesting, journaling about, saying I'm going to do are done. And the things I'm doing now, I'm doing and moving forward. So just continuing to move in that, like, kind of frequency and move that vibration in that way that I intend to. It's happening, and manifestation is really, really happening, which is cool. So a little bit about me, hailing from Newfoundland, working with sacred plant medicine. Kambo medicine is one that I work with primarily. I also work with 5-MeO-DMT and psilocybin as well, with psychedelic therapies. And I also work with Repe, the tobacco snuff, the Sananga eye drops. I dabble, not like you guys. I wouldn't say I'm a practitioner in cacao, but I definitely dabble in cacao. I love it. I think it's a fantastic medicine. It's a beautiful, beautiful heart opener. It really, what can you say about it that isn't good? It's phenomenal. So, and then Mapacho, so sacred tobacco, rusted nicotina, rustica nicotina tobacco leaf. It's a beautiful. So these are all fantastic medicines. These are what I ended up procuring over the last 2 years, really diving into head on, becoming practitioner, working with them more, offering them for people. And my calling was to come back and work with people here in the Maritimes, with the 4 provinces that's here. And the last 2 years, I've been between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, and now living in New Brunswick, outside of Moncton area. And I've gone full force into working with men to help men specifically to start to come into their own. So right now I'm in a coaching 3-month coaching package with 5 men, and we're going to Brazil in April. And I'm taking them down to the Yawanawa tribe to experience ayahuasca and go into the jungle. So I'm taking 5 men into the jungle behind me on a tow rope, and I'm going to allow them to experience the jungle in the Amazon for the first time ever.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm assuming if it's going to be down with the Yawanawa tribe, there might be a little rapé involved there too.
Yeah, I've been practicing. I just went last night. Monday nights, I have my live mastermind call with these guys. So we get on the mastermind call and have a little chat for about 2 hours and see what's come up over the last week, what they're kind of hitting roadblocks with, and where I can help with advice and solutions as I am the coach here in that space. And so as we go through, we're bringing up a lot of things, and the guys are already like leaps and bounds doing amazing. Like a couple of guys are just like, they just broke wide open through this course, and the structure and everything, the videos and the content and everything that I've created and provided. And like, I have everything out on Kajabi, and it's a full course, and it's like step by step. And there's like, I got more than 100 videos in this 3-month package. And it's like, it's nonstop, from everything from teachings of Buddha and Eckhart Tolle all the way to like Neville Goddard, and then talking about plant medicine, and just really giving them a whole broad perspective to come up. So as we kind of go through all these things, talking about the trip, I tell the guys, I'm like, we might get hit with some serious rapé. And so I'm been preparing the guys, and they've done Kambo with me. Like, I've served them Kambo, and then done some rapé with them. And some of the guys are taking it like it's hitting them. They're like, So I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's get prepared here. So last night I ended up hitting it myself. Actually, I tapped into the one that you gave me a little while back when you came back in your van back east. And
Oh, yeah?
I ended up hitting that 3 times, like boom, 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 back to back 3 times, and just sat here exactly in this seat waiting for them to come on like a half an hour before. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready to go down there and take that 4-foot pipe and just just like I'm really, like, it's the one thing I'm nervous about going down there. Like, I'm going to try, if the frogs are out of the jungle, I'm going to try fresh medicine again with Kambo and ayahuasca, and have like different ceremony, because the Shipipo tribe in Peru and the Yawanawa in Brazil are very different ceremonies. I haven't experienced the Yawanawa yet, and I'm really looking forward to doing it, because it's all night. They have guitars, they have big feather headdresses, and it's very different the way that they do it. And so going down and doing this, we're going to make fresh rapé. They're going to show us how to do it and how it's done. This is where I get my medicine. This is actually where this village is where I actually get all my medicine. So if the frogs are down, coming out from their kind of swamp areas and making their way, because the monsoons push them back, and then it heats up and they move. So if they're coming out towards the village, then we're going to get fresh medicine, which is going to be awesome. This takes like 1 or 2 dots, and you're like on the floor doing your Kambo thing. and then the ayahuasca is obviously great. But yeah, the one thing I'm like nervous about, like I have a little bit of trepidation, is the rapé. Because it hits me so hard. Like, I'll take Kambo all day. I'll do 4 days back to back Kambo, but like, you're gonna hit me with a hard rapé. I'm like, oh, like,
yeah, it has
there's
a lot
some
more power than people really give it. It's kudos for.
Yeah, it's a very powerful medicine. The first time I did it, I tell people, I tell them it's a more difficult medicine to do. It's going to help you learn to teach. It's going to help teach you to sit with being uncomfortable. It's one of the biggest things that rapé has taught me, is to sit in the uncomfortableness, because it will take you to something beautiful. Beautiful lesson. So, but the first time I tell people, and Steve was with me the first time, it's like, oh my God, my head's coming off. Like, I thought the top of I was like, my head's going to come off. And they're like, that's normal. Are you sure? Because my head's going to come off. But it was, once I gained that trust, it was a completely different feeling, even though the physicality was the same.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's my first experience, I'll tell you guys the first experience. So was when I first went to Peru, and I ended up going down, and the brother that I met, the facilitator, was like, I was a third or fourth guy there, and so he was like, "Oh, do you want to do some rep?" And I was like, "I'm here, or I'm gonna try whatever. Like, this is about medicine while we're here." And so he's like, he told me about it, what it was, poured it out in his hand, had his serving pipe, loads it up, and I didn't know what was a little or a lot, and so he's like loading the pipe, and it's mint repe, so it has the minta into it, and so it's like when you take like
I love the mint.
For any viewers and people watching, the mint is like dentine ice time like 10x, and so so like you throw a couple of dentine ice into your like the black label one, and you chew that, and you're like that commercial you see where they're like sucking in the Arctic. It's like, imagine that in your nose. So he's like, he hits me with it. He's like, and he tells me how to do it. I just hit, and I just grab my eye, and I'm like, I don't even know where I'm at. I just lay down on the grass, and I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, you got to do the other nostril. And I was like,
Yeah.
It's symmetrical.
And I was like, I don't know if I can. He's like, yeah. He's like, you got to sit up, and then you're okay. You can relax. And then so I sit up, and I'm like, I can't even open my eye, and I'm all like this. And he just boom hits me with the other one, and all I hear is like, ding. I'm like calling out to Krishna and Ram. I'm on the ground rolling around, and I'm like, guys, I gotta throw up. Can you bring me to the bathroom? And they're like, you're on the grass. Let Pachamama have it. And it was the first time I heard Pachamama, and I was like, great. And I'm just like on the ground, drooling, throwing up. I was like, it's a mess. It was an absolute shit show. I was out for 4 hours. The guys went to the market. They had dinner. They had everything. I had to go to bed. I had a fever. Like it crushed me. And so I was like, never touching that again. And now I sell it.
Oh, the mint one, it clears my nasal passages. I can just fall into beautiful breathing and just open. And I've actually been using it this week to help with what, I've mentioned earlier, the somatic and whatnot. I'm trying to get my chest to open and my belly and the back part to open. And it's been massive in helping me, because it just puts you into that place of, you're just there and naturally breathing, and everything just kind of starts to flow. And for me, the body started to remember, oh, that's what we need to do. It's been holding things. I was in a motorcycle accident a few years back, and my body's just been holding on to stuff. And it's finally learning, layers. It just goes, But that Sunamenta, it just clears it up, and I'm breathing smooth, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. I like actually the one that one of the ones that you sell, Justin, the Fork of Femme. It's definitely one of my favorites.
The Femme Fatale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. So this it's made by a Yawa woman, and that woman is like really rare that women are allowed to make that, and then go into diet as well, like dieta. With the medicine, and so she makes that, and she's very famous within the village that she ends up making it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. If you go on my Instagram, you could put it up there. I have I just did a post recently
on your Instagram in particular. I will find that, and I will I'll bring it up as we're chatting.
Yeah, so I just ordered, I'm about to get my stickers in for the bottles. And funny enough, like, it's always frustrating. Like, you're starting to get, as a entrepreneur, small business, like this is a small business, and I'm trying to find out the most effective and cost-effective ways to get the product, this good product, to people. So I go to mail it the other day, and Canada Post has this 20 millimeter slot for letter mail. And of course, my glass bottles are 22 millimeters thick. And I was like, I can't get it in the slot. But the mail slots, like the mail boxes for the letter mail, are 25 millimeters. So I can slip it in. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I was like, I can get it in the box and you can take it. But you got these little plastic placard things that almost like where you measure your luggage at the at the airport that you got to put in your carry-on luggage to make sure it fits. So it's like that. They have this thing. They pull out this clear.
Yeah, it's the cha-ching. It's the cha-ching placard. Oh, cha-ching, that one's going to cost you more. It don't fit. Cha-ching, that one's going to cost you more. It don't fit.
So with the stamp, like I could buy my own envelopes and get the envelopes for 40 cents an envelope, or buy them there for $2 at Canada Post. So then I have to put stamps onto this. So it's about $4 for this envelope to ship. But my bottle doesn't fit through there. So since it doesn't fit through there, I got to put that in a box. I can put that in a lipstick box or one of their flat nail boxes, which you can fit shoes inside of. And it's $20. There's nothing less than $20 for shipping. So I'm like, okay, so I need to figure out how to get this. So the mailbox slots where you can put your mail in, I'm going to go to all these different mailbox places with just empty vials inside of a bubble wrap envelope. And I'm going to write onto them like the location where I put it and throw it in Staples, Purolator one, and down in Moncton, here in Rishabukto, and see which ones actually get to the destinations. And that's the one I'll continue to use to ship out my stuff for $4 for shipping.
That's funny. Yeah, I utilize the other one. I use the bubble envelope, the prepaid bubble envelopes, and the whole gamut of boxes. But I think the cheapest one is the extra small box, and it's like $17, right up to like almost 30.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And that's before taxes. 17 before taxes. It works out to like 19 something. Might as well just say 20.
Yeah, and if I heard correctly, if it wasn't an April Fool's joke, on April 1st, our carbon tax is increasing our 17 cents a liter on fuel here in Canada. So everywhere in Canada is going up 17 cents a liter. I was like,
they just jacked it 20 cents a liter here 2 days ago.
Oh man, yeah. So I don't know. What are we gonna do, right? We're starting a revolution.
Crazy.
Let's go.
Oh man, nobody. Whenever they raise the price, nobody gas up. Stay home.
Well, I think that's the intention, isn't it? With 15-minute cities. I don't know. I don't watch all this stuff, and I don't read it all, but I love being here on East Coast, and like I just don't feel like I'm a part of any of this stuff that's going on. And the more people I talk and meet and connect with that are like-minded, the more like it just goes away into the shadows. And every once in a while I'll hear someone talking about it or overhear it if I have to go like shopping into the city or something. But like when talking with my friends and people that I know or online connecting, like I never hear about any of that stuff. Like life is really good.
Yes.
Cacao.
Yes.
I don't pay attention to any of that stuff either, right? Like I just, kind of live my life. And once in a while, my father will tell me something about it. But other than that, I just sit in my blissfulness and ignore it all because it's too much.
I float in and out.
Yeah. Steve is one of the ways that I stay connected to that stuff. That's for sure. That's for sure. So I want to talk. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. I was going to say, I just want to talk about, I don't really want to get into it till after the break, but you've got some upcoming retreats and a giveaway. So I was thinking that it's probably a good time to go for break. And then we can talk about that stuff when we get back.
That's my cue. It's break time. Oh, sorry, I just killed myself. It's break time. Time to check out our sponsors and pay some bills. You're here with us live on the Mushie Moment on paceradio.net, CBG TV, and we'll be right back with Justin. Hang out.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Babe, it's spring. Just saw Robin.
Awesome. Let's get our butts to Limestone City Hydroponics. They carry Happy Frog and Ocean Forest soils and lots of promos.
Limestone City Hydroponics carry everything you need to get veggies veggin', from organic fertilizer to cloth grow pots to, well, everything. Visit them today. Don't delay. In-store, free delivery, or curbside. We're here to help. 613-548-0420.
In February of 2022, the Victoria Cannabis Buyers Club and Ted Smith were fined $6.5 million. This for helping 8,500 patients with access to medical cannabis. In our interview with Ted, he spoke to us about how people can donate to help in an upcoming court challenge. And here is part of that interview. From what I've seen lately, I believe that you've got something that you're trying to do as far as fundraising to deal with this next court challenge.
For now, people can write checks directly to Jack Lloyd Law Corporation or send e-transfers to save the VCBC at gmail.com. I guess those are the two easiest ways for people to help right now.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Cannabis edibles are an effective way to manage pain and other ailments, especially when you deal with your trusted partner, Legacy 420, in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. You see, we lab test every product on site to ensure proper dosage every time, which is critical when consuming cannabis edibles. All Legacy 420 edibles are made by our classically trained baker and chocolatier, and we also have super tasty vegan options.
Our baker has been in the industry for 25 years. She's also a chocolatier. Everything from savory to sweet, your chocolate bars, brownies, butter tarts, you name it, we make it.
Talk to our knowledgeable Cannatex about our incredible variety available. Give your trusted partners a call. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
And we're back.
You stole my line.
Those edibles are dangerous. I'm glad I'm on a carnivore diet, because if you put like a tray of those, like any of those, like the butter tarts, and they're infused with cannabis, oh my God, I would be comatose for 2 days.
Yeah, especially the butter tarts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can eat those for days. I would just be drooling mess.
Yeah. Steve makes gummies that are absolutely delicious too, and I find it very hard to stay away from those when they're in the house. Yeah, edibles can really get you if you're not careful. That's for sure.
But they can sure help take away some of the pain too.
Yeah, they can do that. So Justin, you have some, I'm going to share this on your Facebook page right now, actually, upcoming events. You have a bunch coming up. So why don't you talk to us about those?
Yeah. So since I work primarily with men, because of the medicine, I work with men and women. And I've been looking at how to run retreats. Last year, I did a men's retreat and co-facilitated with a gentleman here in New Brunswick, and it went really well. I wanted to be able to really bring what I offer with the medicine in with the retreat. So it's a sacred medicine retreat, and the men's will be working on masculinity as well. For the mixed retreats, men and women are invited to come to this, and this is an opportunity to come in and experience a plant medicine weekend retreat. So the men's retreats are on all the long weekends, May, June into July, August, and then Labor Day weekend. And then for the mixed retreats, then we have the weekend prior to the long weekend. So June, July, and August. And the first one in June is actually a full moon. So we'll be doing a cacao full moon ceremony for that one.
Nice.
So what's the main differences between a men's one and a mixed one?
So it'll be 3 nights versus 2 nights, 3 nights for the men's over the long weekend. And we're going to be doing masculinity work. So this is going to be men working one-on-one or group work to do different types of integrated work between men. So really looking at how what really pertains to men in the sense of masculinity and what that really means to us. And then there's certain tools and techniques through somatic expression that we're able to really allow some of this stuff that's been pent up, all those emotions that's been pushed down or suppressed, or the walk it off or get over it attitude that we've quite often had and been conditioned into us. So this is something that I'll bring into the men's retreats a little bit more, because we have that extra day, that extra night, and to be able to do that plus the medicine during that weekend. So that's essentially what I did in my very first retreat down in Peru when I worked with ayahuasca over 10 days. And so it was really, really intense over 10 days. And it was like way too much. So even the facilitator there, a brother of mine that still does retreats now today, he's gone to a 2 and 3 night weekend format. And he said, you can get really what you want in that into the smaller format. And essentially that's what I'm doing. So I don't work with ayahuasca, but I work with 5-MeO DMT, and I compound it with psilocybin to make a full ceremony for the last night.
Wow. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful combination. The psilocybin with the 5-MeO.
And it's a small dose of psilocybin. It's not a hero's dose, so you're not doing like 3 to 5 grams. It's not crazy. You're not sitting in the dark. So there's the sitting in the dark thing is a really good one for doing a lot of introspection and a lot of inside work. So I'm advising people that want to come to this, that this is about the light, not so much the darkness of healing. So if you're in your initial stages of the healing journey and you need a lot of internal work, and you feel like there's like you're very apprehensive, there's like insecurities, this retreat might not be quite for you unless you're like coming with good supportive networks of friends, or really talking to me as the facilitator before to really understand your intentions coming into it, and then we can work on that during the retreat. So the people that this would be the audience that this is kind of pushed towards, and who is really I'm like kind of looking at, is people with some experience. So they want to come and bring more of this joyous bliss into life, and they want to bring something more. Like, this is about beauty. Like, it doesn't always have to be about this really deep inner work when we do the medicine. And sometimes that'll bring that out. And any of these retreats that could happen, you can't dictate how that all goes, but with that intention collectively into that conscious mindset that like, this is about us now coming from being this like budding seed of this new exposure of healing, and now we're breaking through the ground and we're letting our actual like leaves come out and to be cultivated and to see the flower of this beautiful existence and allow ourselves to really see something bigger. So I'm always trying, like, when I'm trying to test the waters here and push the boundaries here on the East Coast with this, because I know that you can access this stuff out in BC or California or down in Costa Rica. So I'm trying to like get on the leading edge, as Abram Hicks calls it, the leading edge of creation, like of source energy, and get to this place where we can push our boundaries a little farther out and to become a little bit more comfortable with allowing ourselves to express the way we want. Especially for the men here, there's a bit of rigidity here, and it's very grassroots and new. So allowing men to have a space where they can come and collectively gather to be able to do something like this, and very much at an affordable cost. And that's the big thing, is like, this is maybe a quarter of the price if you went to a retreat in somewhere like California or Nicaragua or Costa Rica.
So then with the mixed retreat, what's the main focus on that one?
Medicine. Yeah. So there will be, with Kambo, we will start out like the kind of the format that I'm thinking right now. It's not solidified quite yet, but it's going to be a introduction, kind of intention setting, ceremony, fire, drumming circle, and share. And then that'll conclude the first night. The next day we'll wake up for a quick morning practice, and then getting ready for Sananga and cleansing with Kambo. And as we come out of that, then there's going to be a relaxation period, so everybody can kind of get back together, get everything going on. And if people need some extra time, they can take the extra time. I do have a possible, depending on how everybody's state is for the afternoon, then I do have a little activity planned, and we'll also eat lunch and everything like that, retool. And then we'll prepare ourselves into the ceremony that evening for 5-MeO and psilocybin integration on Sunday.
So I'm going to bring the Facebook page back up because it's got the prices. So your men's retreat early bird price is $444. I'm guessing the full price is $555.
Yeah.
So this is for 3 nights, and you provide accommodation.
Accommodation and food.
And food. There you go. So $555 is the regular price for the full 3-night weekend, and then for the mix, it's $444, which is again an amazing price. Knowing what they charge in other parts of this country for Kambo or 5-MeO, they really are an amazing price. And you're doing other full moon ceremonies as well. Am I understanding that correct?
That's correct. There's one full moon ceremony that is on, I think July. If you turn back,
yeah,
July 20th. July 20th. So the June 21st is actually going to be during the mixed retreats, the first mixed retreat. So the only weekend full moon ceremony that we have is the July 20th. And that one I'm going to include cacao and ecstatic dance for $40 a ticket. Everything else is donation based, which will be during the weekdays.
That's awesome.
So there's 12 events that I've gotten planned for Opus, for Newfound Awakening Opus this year, and to try to really just expose as much as we can through different types of plant medicine and sacred medicines here in Atlantic Canada and for this region here in New Brunswick. So to really give people options and to put it out there, instead of like dripping out my times and giving people a little bit, I have the full, like, here's your summer spread. Like, here it is, here it's available. I also have a newsletter. So if people want more information and details and what the format is going to be solidified, they're able to get on that newsletter and they'll have everything that's there. I have information packages and everything for the different types of medicine. I have been booking Zoom calls with people or just going through audio clips to be able to give people information about the types of medicines and answer any questions that they might have about what the retreats are going to entail.
Okay. So we've been talking about these medicines for the last little bit. Why not, like, let's tell people, we told people a little bit about what Hapé is, which is a snuff, and it's tobacco based along with other herbs, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? We've mentioned Sananga and Kambo and 5-MeO. So why don't you, I guess, just tell everybody a little bit about these medicines. So if they're interested, they'll actually have a bit of knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all these medicines are holistic medicines. So they all fit underneath the umbrella of holistic medicine. Since holistic medicine works on those 3 aspects of the body, the mind, and the spirit, we want to be able to break them down then into each category of what the benefits are for each one. So if you look at something like the Sananga eye drops, which is a natural eye drop coming from a specific genus of tree in the Amazon jungle, this eye drop on the physical side, on the body side, is for obviously your ocular issues and anything that happens. So glaucoma, nearsightedness, farsightedness, stigmas, ocular cancer. It's known to help either improve or cure all of these. It's antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial, and anti-cancer. This is the property that's in these natural medicines from the Amazon is incredible. So once I started finding out about them, I started using them myself, seeing benefits, hearing other people's benefits, and now I work with them as a practitioner. So the Rapé is another ceremonial type work, and that is something that people bring in for ritual or ceremony, whether it's in a group getting ready for ayahuasca or other types of ceremonies like this, or they do it in their own, maybe to start out and go into meditation or some sort of introspection that they might want to do. With the Sananga as well, they kind of go paired together, hand in hand, and they also seem to go a lot with Kambo as well. And with Sananga, so the other side, the spiritual side, it says it decalcifies your pineal gland, your third eye, your intuition. So with that, people have had these like breakthrough revolutions or kind of like these experiences that they get into after taking Sananga. They release a lot of tension. So Steve, you were talking about tension in the body. Going through any of these experiences like Rapé or doing Sananga, we seem to tense up. And then when we let go and we release, let go, surrender, we finally, and it's that nirvana. It's that your body knows to get out of your sympathetic nervous system and go then teeter-totter back into your parasympathetic, which is the relaxation side. So your body goes from being tense, fight, flight to relaxed state. And so this transition, we don't always have the ability to do that. And these medicines allow that. Kambo is a longer process where Rapé could be like 30 minutes and Sananga is 5 to 10. Kambo is like an hour. And so this is another one that's like a discomfort. It induces vomiting. It's a purgative medicine. And with the Kambo medicine, it does induce vomiting. And so for some people, you have to go to the toilet to do a purge in that fashion. So with Kambo medicine, it's also holistic. It works body, mind, and spirit as well. For the body, it has a gambit of peptides within the secretion from the Kambo frog that work on so many different things, ailments, diseases, and a little bit of almost everything throughout your GI system and your organs. With the mental side, with the mind side, it works in addictions, heavy addictions, like even heroin. It can help with mental illness like anxiety, depression, panic disorder, and many other types of mental health issues that people might have. And then the spirit side, it's a cleanser of negative energies, or panemas, as they call them in the Metsays tribe. So the Kambo has all these different, very broad and a variety of benefits that people can see from it. Then going into psychedelics, they speak for themselves, right? It's anything you can look at, anything you can see from the information. Like we've seen the screenings of dose with the psilocybin, and we've seen now they're doing different studies on 5-MeO, doing like intravenous drip over in the UK, which is like incredible. People are going on like full journeys for PTSD and not reliving, but re-understanding everything that they're doing, that they did within that, and coming out of that trauma experience to now have a post non-trauma experience. And it's like, it's just mind-blowing what, no pun intended, for what these psychedelics are doing. And we have so many different types of psychedelics. Like I work with 5-MeO DMT, a synthetic, because it's controlled in a laboratory and I don't hurt the Bufo Alvarez toad in the process. So I work with a controlled substance that I shouldn't say that. Should I say that on here? I don't know. I don't really care. Caution, red tape. So with that derivative, with that synthetic, it's a control. I know how much that dosage is each and every time that I do it. And so then also with psilocybin, with the mushroom, it's very similar. We have these types of genus mushrooms, cubensis mushrooms, that are different scales of potency and dosage. So we can really, once we start getting into it, like trust the science, follow the science type narrative, and it's there for us. It's natural. Comes from Pachamama herself, and we're a part of that. If we're all one with it, then why not use the medicine that is just accessible to us? So that's what I try to bring here to the Maritimes, to give it an alternative. And that's where Newfound Awakening started, was to be able to allow these medicines to be an opportunity for people to have an alternative to the pharmaceuticals, or not being seen by doctors out there, or not having access to healthcare. In a country that we have free healthcare, you don't have access to the free healthcare,
which is kind of funny in its own right. Yeah, we got free healthcare. You just go find a doctor.
Yeah. It's ironic.
Good luck. Good luck.
Wow, well, that's pretty awesome. That's awesome that you're bringing that awareness, and you've got a good focus. You're helping a lot of people. You're bringing a lot of direction to an area of healing. That the more direction goes there, the more the healing will happen. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we find our own way through our own struggles, and that's where I started. Is we find a way to end our own struggles, and all we honestly want to do is to share that with people, and to bring that to somebody and say, "This helped me. Maybe it can help you. I see you struggling with something that I also struggled with. This is a potential or a possibility for you." And whether that's cannabis or psychedelics or just meditating and being mindful, whatever that might be, if we can now come together in this community or in this like-mindedness that we have, and to show compassion and empathy and love for one another, I think we can really push this narrative of like, we're here to help one another. Like, do unto your neighbor as you would have them do unto you. All I want to do is be able to give you tools to be able to feel better about your life, because if I can lead by example, I fucking love my life. Like, I do. And I didn't think it was going to be, I thought it was going to be Lambos and women and lots of money, but it's none of that. That stuff does not give you happiness.
No, that's the program that's run for people to be distracted.
Yeah. And I'm sure that can put a smile on your face in moments, but it's not the thing that gives you long-lasting joy and happiness and just true fulfillment. And there's a difference between like just pleasure, happiness, and fulfillment and satisfaction. And when I've found this satisfaction, this fulfillment of my purpose, opus is my purpose, is Latin for work. And this is my work. This is my life's purpose. I have found it, and I'm so grateful that I've been given this absolute gift of life, and that I've actually been able to find this purpose. And now with my coaching, that's one of the big major components for these men, is to offer men this opportunity to find their purpose in life. And if they can't like quantify this one thing like I have been able to really pinpoint, then they have the roadmap that I give them, so they can explore themselves to find it. And this might take 1 year, it might take 10 years, but at least they have a template of a roadmap to how to do it. And now I'm just offering what I know to the world.
Yep, lots of tools in the toolbox, and if people choose to use the tools, it's amazing what they can build or rebuild.
Oh.
Or rebuild, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. That's not a bad toolbox you got going there.
It's interesting that you use the analogy of a toolbox, because I've always been someone that's had toolboxes. I was a vehicle technician in the Army, and I was a marine engineer in the Navy, and also a bike mechanic in Calgary, a motorcycle mechanic. And so like I've always had tools in a toolbox, and that's exactly what I...
That's why you've gathered so many different tools in the toolbox you have now, because you learned a long time ago the right tool for the job saves a lot of time.
100%. Yeah. With ease, right?
Yep. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Wow. So with these retreats you got going, a year ago, did you see yourself where you are right now?
I knew that question was coming.
Not exactly like the physical. Close. I am really close. I'm right by the water, which is something that I revere, because being from Newfoundland, I grew up by the water. I'm a coastal guy, and I need the salt in the air for me. I've lived in Alberta for 4 years, and I lived out in BC as well. And like when I'm not near salt water, I think I lose my mind. So I came back from doing an expo in Moncton, which kind of just exploded me onto the scene. And it was like my first like, aha, like this is happening moment. because I did all my training. I was away, and then I came back with all this new like kind of information and downloads, and after being down in the jungle, and I came back and I was like, okay, so I'm really nervous, and I'm feeling a lot of like tension and a lot of responsibility, and so like just guide me through this. And I went to that expo, and then I did a podcast, and then I came on this show. So it was like within a week, 2 weeks, and during that time, I was like, I think after going to Moncton and doing that expo, I was like, I think I'm going to be going to New Brunswick. And because I was trying to stay in Halifax and be in Halifax. So I thought that was where the population was. That's where I was going to get most of my work. That's where people needed the help. It just didn't happen. I tried that all last summer, and then this summer as well. All last summer. And then I was like, I'm moving to New Brunswick. So in October, I moved to New Brunswick and relocated up here. Knowing very well that I most likely was going to come up here at some point, if not like half the year, permanently. And here I am permanently. So did I see myself like right where I am at this moment in time? Pretty close. Like it doesn't look exactly like how I expected it to look, because of course my ego mind expects something, but very much it's manifested. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. What about 5 years ago? If you had looked forward 5 years ago, where would you have seen yourself?
No way. No, definitely not. Not even close.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
This would be like being in JFK Airport in a plane, and you're like, we're going to LAX, and all of a sudden you're in Greenland. not even close. Yeah, not even close. It's like totally like this way. 5 years ago, what would that have been? 2019? 2019, I was in Newfoundland. I just finished 3 years of living in Newfoundland, the first time living in Newfoundland as an adult, and it crushed me. It was actually the start of my like wake up. Because I was getting mentally crushed over those 3 years. It was the first time I sought out counseling. I went back to school. I was extremely stressed. I was in a marriage that I was absolutely I don't know what to call me, a nuclear bomb waiting to go off, which I always did. And my like loose wires all the time, anger issues, everything was going on. I like crushed my wife and got married. I did a lot of traveling at that time, but it was 2019. So I ended up selling that house. It's like a forever home on a salmon river in Newfoundland at the base of a ski hill. Beautiful forever home. Like the house, I designed the whole thing, knocked it down, rebuilt the whole thing myself, and then flipped it because I wasn't happy. And so I sold everything, bought a camper, and I was heading to BC, and we made it as far as New Brunswick and kept breaking down and bought a car and got to Calgary. And that's when I got to Calgary, and we stayed there for a year, but COVID happened. And I was supposed to be going down to Grenada to buy a sailboat. I had a deposit on it, and that's when the world got locked down. So I'm like, no, I thought I was going to be on a sailboat sailing around with my wife 5 years ago and trying to be a better man, but that wasn't even like in my radar. I just wanted to like be successful type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And now you are successful, just not in the way that you had ever pictured.
Better. Yeah.
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Hey, we come up with plans, but I'm slowly learning the universe has the plan. We just have ideas, and sometimes our ideas ain't so good. Sometimes they're pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just got to listen to the universe's plan.
Exactly. And it is a lot of observation. Like we take action. We are, I believe we're a player, an agent within this life. So we have to take action towards our manifestation. But the manifestation itself, the initial idea that you're talking about, is to allow our intuition and our feelings to be the guiding compass towards that. So if we can allow ourselves to tune in and say, do I feel really like inspired to do that idea, to follow that path? And if you do, go for it. Even if it's crunchy, even if it's scary, even if it's something like, oh, I don't think that's going to work, because that's the mind telling you it's not going to work, trying to keep you safe. Push in and lean into that discomfort and start going towards the thing that like lights you up like a little kid and allows you to have that curiosity and wonder and and if we can lean into that, and that's what I've been trying to do for these guys, is to teach and show and guide these little things, these little nuances to get them to understand that, because I've been doing them at a rapid pace over the last 2 years because I found that key. And I'm just running into doors head on, like smacking into them and like jiggling the key, trying to get them open when it feels really crunchy. And I know that on the other side of that is like, I can relax again, because it gets turbulent before it like breaks open and you get through that next layer. But yeah, I don't know. Life is a funny thing. It really is. It's like, it blows my mind all the time. It's just like, all of a sudden I'm like, didn't think it was going to work out that way, and it just does.
Yep, I'm hearing you on that. When you're walking, if you're walking the wrong way, you still get those things too. Oh, didn't see that coming. But I like, didn't see that coming. Nuts. I like those ones.
Yeah. No, the other ones, they're the lessons, right? So I don't ever look at something and say it's a failure. I either say I win or I learn something. That's it. It's either I win, so I push towards this thing that I want to go towards. And if I don't get there, I learned something. If I get there, I got it. I won. Right? So it's a win-win it's a win-win in my book. So even if I'm going that other way, I think like the old 60s adage is like, oh, wasn't that a trip? Right? It's like you look at it and you're like, whoa, that was far out. Right? I didn't know how mad I got in that moment, or how I lost my mind when I like see my bank account at zero, or this person that I thought I was falling in love with all of a sudden was sleeping with someone else. And you're like, well, that's a good test.
Yeah, where do I keep myself in this position? I call that the calm in the chaos. Can you hold your calm in the chaos? Because the chaos is all around you all the time.
Yeah, so to pin that back to these medicines, you look at Rapé, you look at Sananga, Kambo, and even psychedelics, when you go into those dark journeys, or bad trips as some people call them, it's how composed and mindful and observant can we be in those moments of discomfort. So if you get in an ice bath, or you do Kambo or Sananga eye drops, even Rapé, when you're in that moment, it's temporary. The discomfort is temporary and will pass. This storm too shall pass, is that saying. It's the same thing with our emotional turmoil. When it gets crazy, it just starts going nuts. So when that happens, can you sit in the storm? And as a sailor, I think about every time I start to feel this emotional turmoil, I'm like, another storm's coming on. And so I sit there and I literally be at the helm of my psyche, and I sit there and go, how big is this storm going to be? And it comes, and all of a sudden it's just a little storm cloud, and it goes on by. If I panicked about that, that storm rages. That storm becomes something bigger than it has to be. But if I sit there, don't have to like change my sails, just drop my sail, pull in the sheet, just grab the till or the helm, whatever I'm at, and just watch it. That's it. Just man the station, watch it, and it goes by. It could be an hour, it could be a day, but learning those tools by putting ourselves into a safe place, like a cold plunge or cold shower, or with these medicines, allows us to do that, to sit in that discomfort. And for me personally, that was the primary reason why I wanted to work with these medicines for me, like for me to be able to do it and to offer it to other people. All the science that's behind it and all the benefits holistically is like a bonus. It's a huge bonus to come behind all of it. But understanding our emotional intelligence is the thing that a lot of people need in this world, because we got IQ, we have the intelligence to sit down and be book smart and go through. It's emotional intelligence that really needs to continue to be cultivated more and more. Yeah.
Think with the heart. I was watching a little snippet on a guy, and he said, if you find that you're too buried in thought and you can't feel where you're going, pull your head back and push your heart forward and lead with your heart. Let it do the thinking. And it resonated quite heavily. A lot of times, you're just too much in your head and you're leaning forward. You're ahead of your heart. Move it back. Mm-hmm. Let the heart lead. Where does the heart want to go? How does it feel about this? The brain scatters all over the place. That heart, it knows how to align pretty nice. It goes, I like this frequency or I don't. Do it or don't.
I love that.
Yep. I have been scrolling your webpage on the bottom, going across here for the last little bit. Justin, is that the best way if somebody wanted to get a hold of you to go through your webpage?
I would say, yeah, I'm updating that right now. My email and my contact is through there. If you wanted to throw up my email through there, newfoundawakening@gmail.com, that would be best. Or through Facebook or Instagram, which is Newfound Awakening Opus.
Okay.
DMs always get me, that's the fastest way. Email's second. And then the website is actually being kind of deconstructed and reconstructed right now. I have a developer working on a proper page for me.
Oh, that's exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can find Justin both on Facebook and on Instagram. If you just look up Justin McCarthy, actually, we have him tagged in the ad, so you can find him quite easily that way. So if you are interested in these retreats or to talk to him more, please feel free to reach out to him. Yeah. Is there anything you would like to add?
No, you guys are great. I love this. I love coming on here. It's really easy going. It's fun. There's no judgment. I don't feel any intimidation or fear coming in, and it's really loose. And that's what I like about it. I like the atmosphere that's created by you guys.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, we like having that atmosphere in this place because that's really what it is. It's just three friends sitting around having a chat.
The best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sharing healing information for many others to pick up and start their journey.
Yes. But that sadly brings us to that time.
Oh, you mean it's that time again? Thank you for joining us here on the Mushie Moment with my co-host Cindy, myself, and our awesome guest Justin. We're proud to be coming to you live from paceradio.net, cbgtv.com. We'll see you next week with more exciting guests, healing information. Much love, everybody.
Much love.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyndonega Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.